Hey, it's Andy. So, welcome. This is my garden. This is 5 acres of Greek garden. We've got olive trees, heaps of olive trees. We've got berries. There's even some grapes down here. Maybe I'll walk you through it one day. It's fantastic. Got some Israeli citrus fruit over here. And it's all starting to come out now. So, wow, super happy. Anyway, thought I'd make a little video. I was finished training and I was contemplating something, like a thought came up. It's a great time to think, if you want to think or sort of, contemplate something after your training, it's perfect because the mind's nice and still and you can introduce that subject and really get a good perspective on it. Anyway, so you ready for this? Okay, it might be a bit touchy because it's on everyone. It's on the tip of everyone's tips and lips and tongues, and it's like all pervasive, this one at the moment. It's a little cyclical, but anyway, this one is, you ready? It's racism. Don't tell anyone. We're going to talk about racism. So I'll tell you now, if you're doing your practice, it shouldn't even come up. All right? What do I mean by that? What I mean by practice? If you don't know what I mean by practice, well, PM me and I'll fill you in. Or watch some other videos, or, just do a bit of research on what the hell I mean by practice. But if you're doing your practice, it shouldn't even come up. Okay, now example is, okay, so this guy on the saw down here, right? As I'm hearing that, I'm softening part of my body, right? So I'm releasing my chest, for instance. Yeah, it could be my ear, it could be any part of my body. And as I release that, oh my God, it goes away. Excellent. This is like take 52 just to get that happening, right? No, not really. But that's kind of what does happen. It's like, this irritation comes in, it bashes into your sense gates, and you're releasing, so it just sort of doesn't have the same impact. You see the spaciousness around the sound in that instance, and it's just not so, it doesn't, smash you so much. It's not so hard because you can see the spaciousness in it. Okay, and spaciousness is comfortable, right? So now with that in mind, let's talk about racism, right? That was soundism, having aversion to certain sounds. Now what about having aversion to certain sights? Because that's what it basically is, isn't it? It's like if I see like a green man, yeah, and say he's eaten way too many smoothies, like green smoothies, yeah. He's like just a wheatgrass nutcase. Anyway, so he's eaten way too much wheatgrass, or drunk it, and he's gone green. And I look at him, I'm like, what the hell? He's a green man. Man, I've heard about green men. I hate green men. It's scary. Da-da-da-da. My friend met a green man once, and da-da-da-da-da. And you can see how I'm just elaborating on this initial sense impact, right? So it, came into my senses, and then I'm off. I've grabbed onto it like a bucking bronco or something, and I'm off. I'm way down there somewhere, yeah? But if you're doing the practice, right, something comes into your senses, the sight or the sound or whatever, and because I'm releasing either in my body or, I could be releasing in my mind and my heart as well, the better you get, it's all headed in the same direction. All right. So let's say, for instance, I'm looking at the green man. You're the green man. I'm looking at you. Yeah. And I can tell that you're a green man. But as I'm looking at your greenness, that weird ass tinge of green, man, it's bizarre. I got to tell you, you look a little radioactive, right? As I'm looking at your radioactiveness, I am releasing. And I could be releasing my butt, right? Hopefully not too much, but let's say I'm releasing, my chest or something, right? That's something a little less dangerous than my butt. And as I'm releasing, it makes me feel good. And because I'm releasing, my mind can't be all bunched up and tight, and I can be releasing simultaneously. Those two things, it doesn't happen. I need to release my heart in order to release my body. Yeah, like in order to release my fist, like I need to kind of do this, you know, like just a bit to release it in the body, right? And so if I release my chest, so I'm looking at your greenness and then I'm releasing my chest, I have to sort of soften this and this, right? And then, you know, my chest or my shoulder or my arm or my butt relaxes, right? Releases. Now, if I'm paying attention, and I hope you are, as you're doing this, you'll notice that it feels better than holding a bunched up ass, a bunched up, you know, shoulder or whatever. And there's like a little bit of bliss, just a little split second of bliss, and you enjoy it. So I'm looking at you, you're green, whoa, and I'm releasing my butt. And that's a nice feeling. Now, the mind is interesting because it's habitual. It's habitual. So the more that I do this, the more I look at your greenness and the more that I release my shoulder or my butt, the more I enjoy it. So me looking at your greenness actually becomes not enjoyable as, you know, like I'm only looking at green people now and trying to enjoy them. Anything that comes up into my senses, I am enjoying that interaction, that interplay. Does that make sense? So it kind of doesn't matter what I'm looking at. You know, I'm looking at a camera right now and I'm releasing my butt. And it feels good. Damn it. Feels real good. Love you, camera. They're amazing. Right? But that's kind of what it feels like. Yeah, like then I don't have to like make up stories about why I should like you, camera. Or, you know, the person on this, you know, at the other end of the internet right now looking at this video. I don't have to make up stories about you. You know, like I'm sure they're good people, those green people. You know, it's not his fault that he ate so much wheatgrass or whatever the hell. Like, you know, then we get into these, it's just weird then because, you know, you're sort of putting yourself here and, you know, you have pity on them down here or vice versa, you have shame here. And it just gets so abstract and twisted and convoluted and we're just so far away from the truth. And the truth, you know what the truth is? This is the truth. If I'm paying attention to my heart and my mind and I'm releasing, I'm finding comfort. That's the truth, man. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's why we do every single thing that we do. Yeah. That's why we you know, we want to get rid of racism because it'll make us feel better. But I'll guarantee you now, if everyone was just like releasing their shit, racism would just disappear. Yeah. Of course, a lot of people don't want it to disappear, right? Because they're invested in it, okay? But if you do find yourself investing in this stuff, stop, release. Can you hear that guy? Invested, right? Or maybe he's releasing and screaming at the same time. You know, I mean, the thing is like, yeah, sometimes you do need to yell, don't you? You know, to be heard. But then you can be releasing as you do that. So, you know, to be releasing doesn't mean you have to be quiet and speak in a spiritual voice all the time. All right, we can be releasing and, you know, be getting stuff done and, you know, acting in the appropriate manner simultaneously. This is interesting. Yeah. So you can be at work, you know, you can be on the football field or wherever it is and releasing, you know, and you see this a lot with, you know, a lot of sports people, you know, and, you know, speakers and whatnot. They're very relaxed where they are and they just act very, very effectively because of that flow. And that's all it is. That's what we're finding. We're finding that spaciousness so that we can flow through life better. And then this thing happens. It's like I start to realize, oh my God, like the reason that I've been feeling like crap is because of this contraction, right? I really start to see that. And then I realize, oh my God, that's the reason you're feeling like shit too. Oh my God. Right. And that guy down there screaming, right? I don't know if you could hear that. He's still going off. Everyone, this is the reason, right? And so we have this understanding that this is the real issue. right? This inability to look here. This is the real issue. And this compassion comes forth because we realize, oh my God, they're not seeing the truth. They haven't seen themselves, haven't penetrated, right? And then, of course, and then this thing called metta or universal love, we start to apply that. And that's what we've been talking about. Universal love, as in anything that comes into the sense gates, you're finding spaciousness in it. You're finding that. Think about when you give someone a cuddle that you love, right? Like you melt, you open, you release. You're not like a brick, are you? Hopefully not. You pat a little kitten. Yeah, you have to melt to do it, like this. And this melting, this opening, we're at that moment. This is interesting. That's the moment. So as you're looking at yourself, as you're looking stuff that comes up in the sense gates, melting, finding that spaciousness, seeing the truth. Things become less hard, more comfortable, much more enjoyable. The tears will dry up. Turn that frown upside down. And we're not smiling for no reason. We're smiling because it feels bloody good. Okay? So, if you do release, enjoy it. As I'm looking at your green ass, I'm releasing my pinkish ass, I suppose. I don't know. Whitish, pinkish ass. Maybe I need to get more sun on that. You're finding me up on the roof, sunbathing with a G-string on, a thong. Anyway, so try this thing, and I guarantee this thing called racism will not have a place in your scope. Yeah. So if you ever hear me, sort of saying, stop that with the racism, this is what I mean. I'm not saying, like sweep it under the carpet. No, I'm not saying that at all. No, we're not pushing away. That's pushing away. I'm not pulling it in either. No pushing away, no pulling in. Right? Truth. I want to penetrate. There it is. Nice. Ooh, yeah, baby. And it's clear for a moment or two. And it starts to creep back in as I'm looking at your green ass. There it is again. And I build this habit every time I look at you, I feel better. Nice. Mwah. Now this is the ticket. Give it a try. You can practice in many ways. You can do it with your eyes, do it with your ears, do it with your tactile senses as well, right? So, practice. It's a lot of fun. Talk to you later. Bye. Mwah.